So, guys, hey, put a lot of work into this, so let's respect that. Okay, do you want the lights on or off?
It's okay if they see on. It doesn't really. Can everybody see? That's probably the first question. Can everyone see well? All right. Welcome to probably the final sermon of the year because we have how many? Like 2 family groups left? Barely any. So we're in the new series, After Death, Why It Matters, What It Means. This is more of an educational sermon, okay, what even is this new earth I've been talking about? So how about we just get right on into it? So, this is the first sermon. I've titled it, Beyond Heaven. We'll be adjusting our gaze on life to include something that we're rarely taught, but what will be our final place of residence. Today, we're going beyond heaven. To start us out, I've made a little fictional story to kind of help us imagine what it's like. There's a family, and they get ready for Christmas Eve. They put out the cookies, they fill up the stockings, and they get all ready, and then when Christmas Day comes, they do nothing. They don't sit by the tree, open up presents. They just wake up and go about their days as usual. Well, that's kind of like us. We think about heaven. We hype it up so much, but we forget what it's really alluding to. Christmas Eve is just a preparation for Christmas Day. Heaven is a preparation for the new earth. And if we're just celebrating for heaven, we're missing the point of God's final plan. So let's learn a little bit about that final plan today. But first, let's begin in prayer. Lord, thank you for this Tuesday. Thank you for bringing us all here safely. God, help us to remember that we have a purpose in your plan and that nothing can happen outside of your will. Lord, help each and every one of us take something special away from today. We thank you for a nice long weekend and the opportunity that we have to freely gather in your name. God, you know our hearts, and for all those who are hurting, please remind us of the cross that brings peace, joy, love, and grace. Thank you for the cross. Amen. All right. Well, let's answer the basic principle questions. You may have been taught this in school before. It's who, what, where, when, why, and how. So let's start out with the first one, who? Who's doing all this? Well, it's God. I think that was pretty obvious. The one who created the first earth is creating the new earth and the new heavens. Now what? What is this? Well, it's a perfect paradise where eternity will be spent without sin and its implications. This will be the main focus today, addressing the what. What will we be doing? What will it look like? Etc., etc. Now, where will it be? Well, we don't really know the physical location. God's going to create that. But if you want to read more, you can find it in the Bible in Revelations chapter 20, 21, and 22. That's where I'll be getting most of our text today. All right, when? Well, only God the Father knows. God the Son and God the Spirit do not know when this will happen. Only God the Father. You may remember that from Revelation if you've been reading Revelation a bit. Now, why is God doing this? Well, to finish out his plan, to redeem creation and restore us to a perfect and sinless state. All believers who were in the first heaven, as well as on the first earth, will populate this new earth. Alrighty, well, how do we get there? Well, it's by faith in God's only Son, Jesus Christ. Same thing as getting into heaven. It's just another step up going into the new earth. Nothing else required. Pretty cool. God's grace is so amazing. Well, we've answered those. They can scurry off. We're going to take a deeper dive into the what and why it means so much to us. That was, pretty cool. Well, I got another cool animation. Oh, it moved. That took me a lot longer than it should have. All right, let's address the what. Well, let's start out with our reading. It's a big one. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. We'll get back to that part later. I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things have passed away. Quite a beautiful passage. But wait, there's more! And he who was seated on the throne said, Behold, I am making all things new. He also said, Write this down. These words are trustworthy and true. said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give from the spring of water to life without payment. The one who conquers will have this heritage, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. But as for the cowardly, the faithless, the detestable, for the murderers, the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death." Wow, quite a passage to unpack there. It's a beautiful passage, but we end with a grim reminder of what will happen to those who have not believed here on this earth. So let's break it down. I've divided it into 3 key points. What happens in the spiritual realm, what will happen in the physical realm, which I've divided into 2 subpoints, and then talking more about that second death we find in verse 8. So to help us grasp what it will be like in the spiritual reunion with Jesus, let's take a look at the marriage of the church and Christ. Earlier in Revelation, we see that a huge feast will take place called the Wedding Supper of the Lamb. You may have heard of it. In this wedding, we see that the church, us, will be married to Christ, becoming one flesh. Well, if you know anything about how the Bible teaches marriage, you'll know the illustration of becoming one flesh. 2 intentions become the same. The same illustration is used to show us how we will become united with Christ in the end times. Spiritually, we will be made perfect, no longer bearing the weight of sin. Isn't that beautiful? We will finally be with Christ. But now, probably the more fun thing, and yes, I got a little bar on the bottom, that Subway Surfers, to help us think more about, okay, what's going to happen in the physical realm? Because we know heaven is going to be spiritual. That's where our soul will be. But we will be reunited with perfect bodies on the new earth. So what will we be doing then? Eternity is, well, it's quite a long time. How will we keep ourselves busy? Laugh, please. Joke. There's a great book by John Mark Comer called Garden City, right there. I put it in the Google Classroom stream if you want to check it out. Great book. Quite fascinating. It helps us apply the new earth to what we do today and how, especially what that comes with employment and our jobs here today. So if you're kind of struggling with, what am I going to do with my life? Great book to check out. From the start of the Bible, humans have been working, not in the sense of slavery to God, but in the sense of cooperation. We are made to work in partnership with God to create something beautiful and honoring to Him. Looking back at the first humans, Adam and Eve, oh, I've lost my point. One moment. There we go. They were called by God to go out and cultivate the land. But this means more than just farming. Cultivation is bringing forth something beautiful from the ground. God was calling them to go out and create. If you want an example of what they were creating, well, look around the world today. All the good things today: music, art, new discoveries in mathematics and science, language, culture, food, especially food. That's a good one. In the new earth, we won't just be sitting around doing nothing. We won't be playing on the harps the entire time. Some might like that, but we'll be doing things other than that. We will be creating. We will be serving. God has given us all special abilities and talents, and I believe that we will be able to utilize those to their greatest potential on the new earth. Do you ever feel like you've just kind of got a certain gift at something? Well, whatever that might be, God has put that in you on purpose. It's not only to show His glory here on this earth, but to utilize that to its maximum potential in the new earth. All right, that was quite a bit of yapping. Sure, I could have just said, you'll be doing cool, amazing things instead of sitting around and doing nothing, but maybe my longer explanation maybe struck a different chord in you. Maybe you're like, oh yeah, I am great at this. What about doing that forever, but it's perfect? Isn't that so cool? But we really don't know quite for sure what we'll be doing. This is just what most people think, and this is what Revelation seems to be alluding to. We'll really never know until we get there. Yes?
Would you ever get tired of the thing that you're doing?
I think that you'll have so much passion in you to go and serve others that I don't think you will ever get tired of it. And you'll be doing different things too. Like, you won't just be doing one thing forever. You'll be doing a lot of different things, and yeah, it'll be fun. If you want to read more into this, I suggest picking up the book that I mentioned now. It's kind of some fascinating information that the Bible gives us about what this new earth will look like. This is probably my favorite segment. Ooh, bar moved. What will the new earth look like? Well, Revelation gives us an incredibly detailed description of the biggest city there, New Jerusalem, in chapter 21 of Revelation. Its city walls are to be lined with the most brilliant of stones and their streets of gold. If you've ever heard about the streets of gold, a lot of people are like, oh, that's heaven, but that's actually New Jerusalem. So we get a measurement of just how big the city is in cubits, which can then be converted into miles. The city is a perfect square. But let's take a guess. How big do you think this city is? Like around Houston size, maybe?
16 by 16.
Well, it's actually as big as the country of India
Oh, dear.
in all three dimensions. If we place this city on the globe, it will look like this. That's a pretty big city. In all three dimensions, this will be a ginormous city. The image on the left shows us what it will look like on top of our current Earth. The image in the center shows how tall. These are the city walls lined with the jewels. Huge, huge city. And then finally, this image shows us how big it is in relation to the USA. A lot bigger than Texas. You thought Texas was big? Just wait until New Jerusalem.
It's like the Louisiana Purchase.
Exactly. Safe to say this is a pretty enormous city. Yes.
Wait, so this is where we go after heaven?
Yes, the new earth. Yes. Once God gets rid of the old earth, once the end of the age has come. If you want to read more, read those chapters in Revelation, or just read the whole book. It's a great book.
Armageddon
Yeah. The
reference?
sorry.
Is that a reference to Armageddon? I mean,
Well-
the end times?
Yeah, the end times. Yes. So, some scientists estimated how many Christians there will be up until the year 2100. This is just a fun fact. Don't just take it with a grain of salt. But if their measurements were correct, each person will get approximately 3 acres of land if everyone was in this city. However, if there are more cities in the new earth, well, we're not quite sure of that. There might be more cities, there might not. This might be the only one. But it does mention different kings in Revelation. So we could assume there will be different nations with their own cities, which means there's going to be a lot of land for people. So we're going to be able to experience the greatness of God's creation. But even greater, the physical features of this earth will be amplified in the new earth. Can you imagine that? If you've ever been to the Rocky Mountains or any mountain range or a beautiful beach, you just know how wonderful God's creation is. Now imagine that, but so much grander. I just can't. The Rocky Mountains are probably the pinnacle of beauty to me. And I just can't wait to see how beautiful a perfect creation will be. But can you imagine? It just blows my mind. Just think about that for a moment. Everything perfect, how it was meant to be. But anyway, enough of that. Ooh, the bar moved. Oh, it's all the way done. Oh, so we get to talk about the second death. Those who do not believe will be a part of this second death. The reality of a perfect creation won't be for everyone. Our culture's view of hell isn't also that accurate. In Revelation, we see this second death, including both demons and humans, who were previously separated into their own realms. They are all thrown into this lake of fire and sulfur. If you've never smelled sulfur, it is a horrid, rotting stench like eggs. Really, really gross. Not a great place to be for all of eternity. Sometimes we tend to view hell as like a dark place that's pretty hot, but it's so much worse than that. It's eternal separation from God. And God gives all good things. Can you imagine eternity without the hope of God? No peace, no joy, nothing good. Ugh. That hurts. That hurts. But anyway, cool transition again to our final point. What does this mean for us? How does the knowledge of a physical realm beyond heaven help you right now? Well, if you would like to have an application for the sermon, please raise your hand. This is audience participation.
What does that mean?
So if you can find a way that this kind of impacts your life, more like it empowers you, like, oh, I don't want people to be a part of that second death. I want to go out and save people from that second death. Or you're like, oh, wow, what I do here on this earth will help others to become part of this New Jerusalem. Or, oh, wow, I'll be doing what I love forever with God. Isn't that so cool? Like, anyone have any thoughts on this? And then we'll move to my thoughts. That's what this little thing is. Any thoughts? Going once.
Well, Revelation's a hard book to understand, and you kind of brought it into a kind of a way to kind of think about an application, that you might be able to kind of process, if you will, what it's like. I think there's still some, speak for myself, I guess, there's still some questions about what, is, there's a lot of interpretation and misinterpretation of what Paul is saying.
Yes.
And whether it really is Paul
John
saying this, right? I mean, that's the conventional wisdom, and that's been questioned many times as well. But it's hard to appreciate the analogies you've been making. It really helps to put it in perspective. So yeah, that's I don't have a specific application, but it's kind of cool to think about it in the terms. I mean, the physical way that you had that laid out, is that, with the dimensions?
That's all in the Bible, yeah. It gives an exact measurement in the Bible.
I've actually seen them.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah,
Like
it's...
that. I don't know, has anybody else seen that before?
No.
I had never seen
Yeah.
something like that. That's kind of
Revelation, it's such a, I think people are scared off by the first couple of chapters. Yeah, it's a little grim, but getting to the end, it's so beautiful. I highly recommend everyone read it and interpret it for yourself. There's a lot of different interpretations. I lean more on the literal side, but I know there's some figurative
that's
people.
really cool. 'Cause
But
I
yeah.
can't do that. You do it very succinctly. I mean, I struggle to do that. It's hard to kind of just, I lose interest.
Yeah.
It's because it's so out there.
yeah, it's far away, but trying to bring it close, like this is where I'll be for eternity. This is,
And looking at a visual like that helps.
Yeah.
Because it makes it relative.
and all we know, this will be, back on the first slides, those are all definitives. We know all of that. This will be a perfect paradise where we will be restored in a physical body. So everything here should be correct. Anyway,
Hold on, guys.
sorry. Just one moment. What does this mean? Essentially, the reality that I've already kind of said this, the reality that some people will not be able to experience this should create a passion within us to share Christ for us all. Should also spark a new hope within us. Better days are coming. And also, if we're only looking at heaven, as with the story I shared at the beginning, we're missing the big picture. We need to look really at what our final destination will be. That gives us even more hope. Finally, my last words, sitting around doing nothing and being lazy all day is not how we populate the new earth. We are called to make disciples of all nations, just as we have been made known of the gospel by somebody else. We have no need to gatekeep Jesus' gift. Go out, Concordia, and share the good news. Christ will come back, and we will all be together in this wonderful paradise with him. Thank you all. All right, slides with speaker notes will be found on the Google Classroom if you want to read through this again. Thanks, y'all.
Give me some skin.
All righty. Yes, thank you.